Let's start by using the map's environment to separate gunfights. During the pistol round, the terrorist took B side. ZywOo kills one opponent from behind and jumps onto the boxes. At this moment, a terrorist near connector starts shooting at him. Additionally, another opponent peeks out from behind the blue train. Look at what ZywOo does. He crouches and kills the terrorist with a beautiful one-tap to the head. Because ZywOo crouched, he can focus only on the opponent behind the blue train. Then he stands up and kills the third terrorist with another beautiful one-tap. Let's look at his POV. Because ZywOo crouched, Gucek couldn't see him and as a result, couldn't kill him. Moreover, when ZywOo stood up, Gucek didn't even have time to shoot. Unfortunately, the last terrorist plays well for time and the terrorists win the round. Since we are already on B side, I will show you an epic position. ZywOo steps onto the train ledge and crouches. As you can see, this is a great spot to surprise terrorists running down the ramp to B. What makes this position incredibly strong is that it's very hard to spot you, and on top of that, you are on the off angle. No terrorist should expect you to be there. However, you must remember to have a teammate helping you by watching heaven, because from that position, you are an easy target to kill. Now I will show you how to play on A side as a city with an AWP. At the start of the round, ZywOo turns around, expecting the terrorist to throw a flash. Then he aims at main and kills a terrorist running out. He immediately changes position, jumps onto the red train and watches main. At this moment his teammate on Ivy dies. ZywOo reacts quickly, smokes off main and runs to check Ivy. He lands a beautiful flick and kills the second terrorist. Let's look at his POV. Cap didn't expect ZywOo to be there at all. Notice that while ZywOo is fighting terrorists near Ivy, his teammate smokes Pop Dog and checks main. He spots a terrorist and picks main shortly after. When he doesn't see an enemy, he checks if another terrorist is running out from Pop Dog. Then he picks main again and kills the opponent. As you can see, Fire is played very well by covering Pop Dog and main, because this way, ZywOo didn't have to worry about dying from either of those positions. Let's go back to ZywOo's POV. He notices that an opponent ran to the right. After missing a shot with the sniper, he pulls out his deagle, expecting the terrorist to pick him. When he doesn't see the opponent, he changes position again and moves to the bomb site. He steps onto the train ledge and aims at Ivy. At this moment, a terrorist peeks from behind the brown train and kills the city in main. ZywOo hears the opponent reloading his AK and also hears the terrorist take a step while moving to the left side of the brown train. That's why ZywOo aims at this spot and secures his third frag. It's worth mentioning that when Faris died, he heard the last terrorist running down the long corridor. He definitely informed his teammate about it. That's why Nonik aims at main. He spots the last enemy, but misses his AWP shot. Notice that at this moment, ZywOo walks up to main. As you can see, the terrorist is aiming from the left side of the brown train, thinking that Nonik will pick from there. Because of this, Mbappe picks the position while already aimed in, and ZywOo finishes the round with a beautiful one-tap from the deagle. This round perfectly shows how ZywOo's constant repositioning makes him unpredictable, allowing him to surprise and eliminate the terrorists. Additionally, it makes it much harder for the opponents to counter him. I will show you a simple way to deal a lot of damage to the terrorist. ZywOo aims at a dark horizontal line and clicks the left mouse button as he reaches the boxes on the left side. A fraction of a second before throwing the grenade, he presses walk. His teammate Joko also throws a nade there, but uses a different lineup. The grenades explode over main. Let's look at the terrorist POVs. Mol lost 74 HP and Niflox lost 73 HP. As you can see, these grenades are a great counter to rushing terrorists at the beginning of the round. If you know that the terrorists are standing in main and not rushing, you can throw a slightly different lineup. Just click the left mouse button when you pass the boxes on the left side. In this round, the city also threw 2 grenades. As you can see, Hanuri lost 45 HP. Now I will show you a simple wallbang. Hypex is in Pop Dog and shooting at a city. ZywOo jumps onto the red barrel, aims at the bottom right corner of the window and starts shooting. As you can see, he quickly kills the opponent. This wallbang works on a terrorist standing in a narrow corridor. However, remember that if the opponent is on the right side, you won't be able to hit him. If you shoot through the wall or the window frame, you also won't kill the enemy. You will only hear the sound of a headshot. This wallbang is especially effective when the terrorists are on nick around, because it only takes 2 shots from an M4A1S to kill. Also remember that you can only shoot through these 2 small windows on the right. Now I will show you effective examples of teamwork. In round 17, Joko positions himself behind a pillar, aims at this spot and presses W plus jump throw. This smoke lands in front of the bomb site and allows the terrorist to safely exit Popdog. Besides that, it has another advantage. ZywOo jumps onto electric and spots the head of a city on the bomb site. As a result, he gets an easy frag. Let's look at his POV. Julius couldn't spot ZywOo. Now let's move to another example. The cities push upper B from 2 sides. ZywOo and his teammate go from Popdog, while Polflex come from the ramp. Polflex throws a flash by bouncing it off the plank. Then he throws a Molotov, and shortly after a nade to draw the opponent's attention. A terrorist picks and kills him. ZywOo instantly trades, but loses the duel against the second opponent and dies. At this moment, Faris swings out and kills the terrorist, who wasn't expecting another city in Popdog at all. Then Faris hits the opponent on the stairs a few times. He decides to rush him and gets a double kill. Thanks to the upper B push, the cities win, which shows that you don't need complicated tactics or a lot of utility to surprise the terrorists. Now I will show you how ZywOo takes advantage of his opponent's mistakes. In round 23, the cities push Popdog and the ramp, taking control of upper B. They kill 2 terrorists and then escape through the ramp. ZywOo is on the stairs and hears 2 cities running away. He walks behind them to avoid revealing his position. If ZywOo started running, one of the cities might have heard him and, for example, smoke off the ramp. That way ZywOo could have lost the element of surprise. Notice that he looks toward Popdog a few times, because at the beginning of the round, one of the cities rushed that position. Additionally, as ZywOo moves toward the ramp, no nick covers him and holds an off angle on Popdog. ZywOo kills 1 city. As you can see, Mold made a mistake because he was walking with his back to the ramp and had a knife in his hand. He should have been walking silently with his weapon out, constantly watching the ramp. Next, ZywOo starts rushing, because he knows that the second city must be somewhere near connector, as he heard him running away a few seconds earlier. He easily kills the second opponent. As you can see, Dempsey didn't even have time to shoot at ZywOo. Then he throws a Molotov into connector, because he knows that there was one more city at the start of the round on B, and he also heard him running away. The opponent rushes through the Molotov and dies. As you can see, even though the terrorists were in 4v3 situation, thanks to ZywOo's smart decision making, they won the round. Now I will show you a few examples of rushing upper B as cities. Right after the round starts, ZywOo pulls out a Molotov, positions himself in the corner, aims at this spot, and does a jump throw as he reaches the roof on his left. Remember that the glass must not be broken. The Molotov explodes on the stairs and prevents the terrorists from rushing quickly from that position. Joko rushes B, and as you can see, he kills a terrorist who was waiting behind the flames. I've noticed that ZywOo throws this Molotov very often. A few rounds later, Joko rushes B again. At the start of the round, he smokes the ramp to extinguish the terrorist Molotov. Then he runs in, aiming at the window, and kills a surprise opponent. I have another example for you. ZywOo once again throws a Molotov at this position. His teammate rushes B. Always remember to check the window. Then Polflex throws a Molotov on the stairs, and after a few seconds, he follows up with a smoke to delay the terrorist push. This allows the cities to have full control over B, while the terrorists hesitate to rush. This also enables ZywOo to rotate to heaven and throw a flash for his teammate as soon as the smoke fades. Unfortunately, Polflex dies to a terrorist who is fully blinded. If you prefer, instead of just throwing the Molotov on the stairs, you can also immediately throw a smoke. As you can see, the smoke grenade covers a large area. Now I will show you how to effectively counter such a city rush. Joko pulls out a smoke, aims at the lamp, and left clicks as soon as he reaches the top of the stairs. Then he takes out a Molotov, aims to the right of the pipe, holds both left and right mouse buttons, and throws it when he reaches the second window on the right. Next he takes out an HE grenade, aims at this spot, and right clicks as he passes the wall on the left. As you can see, the Molotov lands on the ramp and covers a large area. Additionally, the HE grenade lands in the middle of the flames to slow down the rushing city and deal even more damage. Even if the city extinguishes the Molotov, they will still take grenade damage. Make sure to throw this Molotov as quickly as possible. In round 14, ZywOo threw the Molotov too late on the ramp and the city rushed and killed him. Additionally, ZywOo threw the Molotov too far. As you can see, the MC didn't take a single point of damage. Besides that, Joko smoked Heaven, preventing Mol from getting information for his team. You can also use this set of grenades when you want to push Popdog at the beginning of the round. If you know that cities often extinguish the Molotov on ramp, you can ask your teammate to throw a nade there as well. ZywOo positions himself by the first window, aims at this spot, and presses W plus left click. The city wanted to rush ramp, but decided to fall back. If you have limited utility, you can throw this simple flash. ZywOo left clicks. As you can see, Mol wanted to rush the ramp, but was completely blinded and retreated. Now I will show you a great flash for your teammate. ZywOo positions himself to the right of the pipe, crouches, aims at this spot, and left clicks. As you can see, Polflex gets a frag. Let's look at the opponent's POV. Texi had no chance to turn away from the flash and was fully blinded. Throw this flash when your Molotov on ramp is about to fade, because that's when the city will likely pick this position. When taking upper B later in the round, I suggest throwing a Molotov into Popdog. This fire forces the city from the ramp to retreat, as he didn't want to fight the terrorists alone. If you don't burn this position, the cities will have a strong crossfire and can support each other. Since we are talking about Popdog, I have something important to mention. In round 26, Joko rushed Popdog and died. He didn't check the right corner. The city positioned himself very cleverly. This is a small corner, so you can't stand in the open like that, as the terrorists will see your weapon. That's why Damsi pointed his weapon toward the wall and positioned himself to see if the opponent was approaching from the right. However, keep in mind that this is a high risk, high reward play. You can die easily, especially against more experienced players. I recommend using this spot during an eco round when you don't have much to lose. Here's a simple way to hold main with an AWP. ZywOo takes out a flash, aims at the middle of these windows and throws it while pressing W plus left click. Notice that he doesn't peek immediately after the flash explodes. Snipers often take a shot after getting flashed before retreating. That's why ZywOo waits a fraction of a second before peeking. As you can see, he easily gets the frag. Since we are talking about main, I have a simple way for you to take control of this position. ZywOo right after the round starts, positions himself here, aims at the bottom of the ladder and clicks jump throw. The advantage of this lineup is that the terrorists in main cannot see you. The grenade lands on the right side of main. Right after the smoke explodes, his teammate throws a Molotov into the left corner. The terrorist is forced to move into the open and ZywOo takes him down. Now let's go over some very useful grenades that will make playing as a terrorist on train much easier. We'll start with the most important grenades for A. ZywOo places his crosshair on the left side of the brick, aims here and clicks a jump throw. Then he pulls out a flash, aims at the vertical pipe and presses W plus jump throw. The smoke lands next to connector. The flashes explode in this spot and their advantage is that they won't blind teammates running out of main. Along with the smoke for connector, I recommend throwing this Molotov. ZywOo aims at this spot and clicks jump throw while running. As you can see, the Molotov burns the back of the bomb site. In this situation, the city is forced to move into the open or hide in the smoke in connector. If the opponent tries to escape into connector, your teammate can then spray through the smoke. Here's another smoke that will help you push onto A site. ZywOo positions himself in the corner, crouches, aims at this spot and clicks jump throw while still crouching. As you can see, the smoke lands between the trains. The advantage of this grenade is that the sniper at Ivy won't be able to see you as you exit main onto A. Now I will show you some lineups for A smokes from the terrorist spawn. ZywOo right after the round starts, positions himself in front of the post, aims at this spot and presses W plus jump throw. The smoke lands between the trains. This grenade allows you to rush Ivy along the left wall. However, remember that the city at Ivy may spot and kill you. Additionally, you can throw this smoke. Polflex jumps onto the post, aims at the red light, walks forward until the crosshair aligns with the roof and clicks jump throw. The smoke lands perfectly in the tunnel. I have another smoke for you. ZywOo positions himself in front of the post, aims at this spot, runs until the crosshair reaches the bottom of the letter T and then clicks jump throw. As you can see, the smoke lands by the red train. These 3 smokes are perfect for rushing A and provide multiple strategic possibilities. Now let's move to the B side. ZywOo positions himself so that the black vertical element is on the left side of the beam, aims at this spot and left clicks. This is a very strong Molotov because the city has nowhere to hide. If the city positions himself behind the smoke, terrorists can wallbang him. If he stands behind the Molotov, he is exposed and can be easily taken down by a terrorist from heaven or behind the blue train. Sometimes the Molotov might not spread properly and the city might crouch in this spot. However, as you can see, this is a very weak position. Mol saw ZywOo's leg and easily killed him. If the city stands on the blue train instead, just throw a simple flash. Here is another powerful Molotov for you. ZywOo stands by the left window frame, aims slightly to the right of the chair and clicks jump throw while running. As you can see, the Molotov lands next to connector. It has several advantages. The city cannot position himself on the boxes near connector or on the train. It also delays city's rotation and it prevents the sniper from holding an angle on heaven. Thank you for watching until the end. Click on the video on the screen to see Kyosuke's or ZywOo's analysis. Write in the comments which pro player you'd like to see next and on which map. See you in the next one. Bye!